non-stop Vikings talk. It's Purple Daily on Score North and ScoreNorth.com. Purple Daily, presented by Surly Brewing Company.
And then, boom, boom.
That's excellent, man.
Come on, we're going to do it. They get going. We're going. We're going. We're going. We're going.
Yes. Love that awkward skull chant every Friday. Thanks to Pat McAfee. Maybe he can do that inside the actual stadium per Adam Thielen's request a couple weeks ago. We're going to get to Adam Thielen pretty quickly off the top here on this 4-Question Friday. Purple Daily, Daily Vikings Entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die. Phil Mackey, Judd Zulgad, our executive producer, Declan Goff. And the show is presented by Surly Brewing Company and our friends at TCL, one of the world's best-selling consumer electronics brands with a new lineup of award-winning TVs delivering the most entertainment with stunning resolution, all at an affordable cost. Enjoy more of the things you love with TCL and learn more at TCL.com. Boys, we're also giving away, it's the Purple Daily Getaway to Miami. There just so happens to be a Week 6 in the NFL that might be of note if you are a Minnesota fan. We are sending 2 people to Miami. We're going to cover tickets. There it is. Dex holding it up on the screen right there. We're going to cover tickets and travel. All you have to do to enter is open the Score North app. It's free to download. Register and enter through listener rewards. Just look for the Purple Daily Getaway to Miami icon, and you should be able to find it.
And by the way, because I get some feedback on this from our YouTube audience and on the app as well, there has been some people having some issues with when they have an account that they can't log in. Log out, log back in, then register. You should be okay there. If you experience more issues, just shoot me an email. We can take care of it. But there have been a little bit of bugs there. So if you have an account, just log out, log back in, then enter, and you should be good.
Awesome. So there it is. We're just we're in a generous giving mood. We'll do the drawing at some point toward the end of the month of June. Are you guys ready for a little 4-Question Friday here?
Our favorite day of the week.
Question number 1 comes from Floyd Sorensen via the Score North app. You can always hit us up via the Score North app. Adam Thielen's age issue is over-reported and not as big of a deal as people make it out to be. He played at a run-heavy veer offense at Detroit Lakes, was redshirted as a freshman at Minnesota State Mankato, and played against D2 opponents the rest of the way, getting most of his playing time as a junior-senior. He was also on the practice squad his first year in the NFL, had 8 catches in 2014, 12 in 2015. For 31, almost 32 years old, he has lower tread wear than most NFL receivers his age who have played at a big-time high school or college as featured receivers the entire time against top talent. He's also an exercise maniac who takes care of his body, owns his own personal training company. He'll be fine at 32. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree with Floyd about Adam Thielen sort of on the age cliff in his early 30s?
Perfect world, yeah, that's great. And look, I've never questioned, and I don't think that this show has questioned his devotion to staying in elite athletic professional sports guy shape. That being said, he has battled, no question about it, injuries. I mean, he's been hurt. And so where I guess I would disagree is you cannot have a guy be hurt for what, 2 of the last 3 years and miss substantial time and say that there is not tread on the tire. By its nature, in the National Football League, tread on the tire means you miss time because you're hurt and now have to obviously come back and potentially manage those injuries. And so we in no way are trying to dump on him, but I think at his age, with the fact that he has been hurt more, and look, he plays a physical game. Like he's not a guy that's like, hey, it's a bunch of deep routes and he never gets hit. I mean, he takes a beating. Guys who are red zone targets basically get hit a lot. So I think it's Pollyanna to say that there's no tread on the tire. He'll be fine. To me, we have to at least wait and see.
I actually disagree with you. I agree with Floyd. I'm very confident in Adam Thielen, unless there's a freak injury or something. Mm-hmm. And I think the Vikings comparison here, and this might sound crazy, is Cris Carter. So Adam Thielen's, and I think Adam Thielen's probably quicker than Cris Carter. Like I think if those guys were to have squared off in a 40-yard dash at the same age, I think Adam Thielen might have beat Cris Carter. But when you think of Adam Thielen, you think great, crisp route runner and great red zone target, first and foremost. Not that he can't also catch passes deep. He can, but he's a route runner and he's a red zone guy. That's what Cris Carter was. Great hands. He's gonna beat you in the intermediate range, short intermediate range, and he's gonna get open in the end zone. In the last couple seasons, Thielen has been one of the best red zone targets in the NFL. I think his best strength is crisp route running. Cris Carter was really, really good still up until the age of like 35, 36. I mean, he was still catching, 90 passes for 1,200 yards, 12, 13 touchdowns per season after the age of 32. And he really didn't fully erode until he was 36 years old in 2001. And then he went to Miami for that sort of weird. He became a broadcaster for a few months, and then he went to Miami for 5 games, and he was just cooked by 37.
Sure.
Now, Carter never really missed time with injuries. Once he got to the Vikings, he played 16 games every year.
Right.
So, maybe he just did he just get luckier? I don't know, but I think in terms of what their skill sets are, I think Thielen's will translate for another 3 or 4 years in the NFL. I don't know. What do you think, Declan?
Well, I mean, over the last 3 years, he's missed 10 games. So he's missed 10 games since 2019, which, I mean, does add up a little bit, right? And when he's been on the field, he's a red zone target. Look, the dude's racked up 31 touchdowns in that same amount of time, which is actually, like, remarkable. He's just been that great red zone guy that doesn't necessarily wow you with his speed or athleticism. He's going to outwork you. And, yes, he keeps his body in shape. That's great. But at the end of the day, dude, when you're turning 32 in the NFL, whether you were a red shirt or whatever, at this unique landing spot that he has had in the NFL, it starts to catch up to you, dude. Like, it just does. He's still a very viable and very important part of this Vikings offense, and he does need to stay on the field. When you turn 32 and you've been playing in the NFL for as long as he had, things just catch up to you, and that's okay. It's just the course of the nature of being an NFL veteran.
Yeah. Another guy that I would throw out there, too, because I think it's fair to compare Thielen to some of the top receivers, route runners that we've seen the last 15, 20 years. I mean, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but Larry Fitzgerald was a guy that kind of lost his speed, in his early 30s, and he was not going to run down the field and burn you, but he was going to get first down catches on 3rd and 8. He was going to get open 12 yards from the line of scrimmage, and he was going to be a pretty decent red zone target. And Larry Fitz was still very good at age 36, 75 catches, 800 yards, handful of touchdowns. At age 32, 33, 34, Larry Fitz was a Pro Bowler, catching over 100 passes, 1,200 yards. So I think there's a role, is he going to be as good at 32 or 34, Adam Thielen, as he was when he was 27? No. But is there a role for him in some regard? Maybe at some point, if he's still on the team in 2 years, he's the 3rd receiver or something. Maybe they draft someone or KJ Osborne takes a step up. But in general, I think any worry that he's just going to fall off a cliff and be a disaster this year is probably not right. So, all right, question number 2 here. The self-proclaimed #1 Kirk Cousins fan on Twitter, our guy Joe Spinoza, who we invited on a Ventline episode for a 20-minute debate about Kirk Cousins one time. So he tells me that Kirk Cousins is the best Vikings quarterback of my lifetime, and I should respect that. Do you think this is true? So I was born in 1985. So starting with Tommy Kramer. And there are some people, some Cousins Crusaders, that think he is the best quarterback in Vikings history, period.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know that I would, relative to, like, Fran Tarkenton relative to the league in the 70s.
Yeah, that's
not comparable to Kirk Cousins relative to his league now. But let's take that out of the equation. From 1985 going forward, is Kirk Cousins the best quarterback of my lifetime in a Vikings uniform?
Well, I guess, first of all, are we just talking about stats, or are we actually talking about success that goes beyond stats? Because he's definitely not the best.
That's the entire Kirk Cousins conversation.
That goes beyond stats. I've seen all of these teams, and I did start to watch the Vikings on a regular basis and Tarkenton's last year. I would say that to call him the best quarterback in your lifetime would be a stretch, because when Dante was good, Dante was really good. This team, of course, made a conference championship game, which they have come nowhere near. And I'm sorry, you can't point at, but Dante had perfect conditions. Actually, he didn't with that team. So, personally, I can't say that. I cannot say that he is the best quarterback the Vikings have had since 1985. Is he near the top of that list? Absolutely. Is he the best? I can't do that. Dex?
Oh, look, Dante always has that special place in my heart because that's when I became a fan, and when I was a conscious fan was around 2000, and unfortunately 41 Donut was that season, but peak Dante is greater than peak Kirk. The issue is Kirk is consistent. Like, the floor, right, is higher than Dante's. Like, you know what you're getting in Kirk Cousins, but Dante should have won an MVP if it wasn't for Peyton Manning breaking a touchdown record. Like, he would have won the MVP award that year. He was that damn good, and his peakness was bigger than Kirk's peakness. Now, Dante had a couple disastrous seasons, the tiny hands, a lot of fumbles, a lot of turnovers. I get it. Shredded his knee, and his career was basically never the same after that. But he's up there. Like, the funny part is, in my lifetime, I know Phil 85, I'm 92. In terms of peak performance from Vikings quarterbacks, the funny part is Favre and Cunningham probably trump both Kirk and Dante as a whole. Right? Like, it's kind of hilarious how that is, but in terms of the consistency, because I've had as many starting quarterbacks as birthdays, I think, since I've been born, that it's made things a little difficult that you don't really appreciate Kirk because he's been in the start of the last 5 years, even with the warts. So I don't think so. I can't say he's the best quarterback in my lifetime, but I can hear the argument. I can.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just be very clear. Kirk Cousins is the 5th best Vikings quarterback of my lifetime. And you guys already threw out some of the names. Now, because he's played, 4 years? This is year 5 for Kirk in a Vikings uniform. Some people are going to say, well, longevity is going to be, his friend. I care. This goes for Hall of Fame voting, everything. I care less about longevity. I care more about your peak. What are you and what is the team at the peak? And you gave the 4 quarterbacks I have above Kirk are Brett Favre, Dante Culpepper, Randall Cunningham, and also Tommy Kramer. I mean, if you give these guys a good car to drive, what do they do with it? Well, Dante finished second in the MVP voting one year to Peyton Manning, who broke the touchdown record. And I think we all agree the peak version of Culpepper was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL for a couple years. The peak version of Favre with a good car to drive goes to the NFC Championship game. The version of Randall Cunningham we saw in 1998, you give him a good car to drive and a great wide receiver. He doesn't just drive it to the playoffs. He drives it to 15-1 and the greatest offense statistically in NFL history at the time. Mm-hmm. And then with Tommy Kramer, I think they're actually kind of comparable, like in terms of statistics per their era, and that they were pretty good, like kind of fringe top 10 quarterbacks. I think Tommy was given the nickname 2-Minute Tommy because he rose up in some of these moments late in games. Again, totally different era. You can't compare their stats directly. It's got to be relative to the era that they played in. But, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they also go to an NFC Championship game with Tommy Kramer as a quarterback in 1987, or was he injured?
He was hurt. He did play some that year, and then it was Wade Wilson who threw the incompletion in the end zone to Darren Nelson. So. Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
So, I mean, whatever. And if you want to take him off the list, I think there are at least 3 quarterbacks in my lifetime that I would take.
Yeah.
Here's a good car. Which quarterback do I want to drive it? Give me Brett Favre. Give me Dante. Give me Randall Cunningham.
Yeah. For 1 year, you're taking Favre when they did. Like, I don't even think that's a debate.
Mm-hmm. I think it's unique because I didn't see Tommy Kramer, and people who were older than me obviously still like, hey, don't forget about Tommy Kramer. Well, the fans that were born in the 2000s, we're saying the same thing. Don't forget about Dante Culpepper. There is a whole portion of fans between probably 16 and 25 that have no conscious memory of who Dante Culpepper is. Mm-hmm. Same thing with me with Tommy Kramer. Like, I do not appreciate or really probably give enough credit to Tommy Kramer because I never saw him play.
Yeah, that's a really good point. You're always you're looking back and a lot of people forget. Like, my generation kind of forgets about Tommy Kramer. And that's where Judd has to step in and say, well, wait a second now, okay? Right. Let's put this into context. Before we get to question 3 here, let's cheers to the weekend, Judd Zulgad, with an ice-cold glass of... There you go. You got the swag on today.
Oh, I got the swag on, baby. I'm popping the shirt. That's exactly right, because you know what is right around the corner? Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Summer of Surly. That's right, damn it. I'm going to speak, as Declan says,
this.
I'm going to speak this into existence. The summer of Surly is coming. In a couple of weeks, it's going to be here. And when it does, I want you that day to have an ice-cold Surly in your hand. You know what? For me personally, it's the Furious, but perhaps it's going to be, I don't know, something else for you. That's the beauty of Surly. You go to the liquor store and you look in that fridge and you know what you see? Excellence up and down. As the summer of Surly approaches, make sure that you don't get left out in the cold. And then when you're sipping on one, we want you to show us your cans at Jay Zolgad on Twitter.
Awesome. Also, hello to our friends at Dennis Kirk and DennisKirk.com. All about riding season, whatever you ride. It's a Harley, sport bike, metric cruiser, 2 wheels, 3 wheels, whatever it is. Maybe 4 wheels. Hell, I don't know. Dennis Kirk offers free shipping on orders over $89, over 160,000 parts in stock, and same-day shipping on orders placed before 8 p.m. Ride more, wait less, and get in gear at DennisKirk.com. All right, question number 3 on this 4-question Friday. So Devante Adams, speaking to the media this week, basically said he wanted out of Green Bay after some great conversations with Aaron Rodgers. They didn't have a falling out, but he basically said, Aaron Rodgers doesn't really know if he's going to be here much longer, and I'm trying to plan more long-term with my next contract, and so even though Rodgers technically signed a 3-year contract, it's more of a year-to-year situation. And Devante Adams sensed that Rodgers wasn't going to be around much longer, maybe even was contemplating not being around this year. And then he went on to say that he views Derek Carr as a very comparable quarterback to Rodgers, quote, if I'm keeping it real. So I guess, what do you think from a Vikings perspective of Devante Adams, A, thinking that Derek Carr is comparable to Aaron Rodgers, and B, that he wanted out of Green Bay because Rodgers might not be around much longer?
Well, B, I don't blame him because you never know. And playing with as great as Aaron is, being a teammate has to be exhausting because it's just a constant whirlwind of he might retire, he might not. Now he's not happy. Now he is. Now he's not. It's just a constant. It's a constant controversy / whirlwind of activity in a town that is as quiet ordinarily as it gets. So B, I totally don't blame him. I think A is a byproduct of what I like to call Greg Jennings syndrome. And it's this. And I don't blame receivers, okay? So this is not a criticism. I think it's just a fact. I think a lot of them, especially the great ones, they want credit. And they want to think no matter where I go, I'll be fine. I'm really good. Jennings to me is the greatest example because he literally, when he came here, was like, Christian Ponder will be fine. I'll be good with Christian Ponder. And at that position, you ultimately, you control some things, but you don't control a lot. You can't throw yourself the football, right? And so I guess when it comes to Carr, he's going to say, and Carr's not bad, but he's also, I don't think he's certainly elite MVP material. I think he's just saying something that makes himself feel good about I've still got a chance to be great, when the reality is he could still be damn good, but there's only Phil, 3 guys who are going to probably make you as good as a guy like Rodgers does.
Yeah, Brady, for sure. Yeah. Well, Mahomes, we're about to find out because now Mahomes is starting to lose with Tyreek Hill getting traded. Yep. We're now seeing, okay, Mahomes' first iteration of weapons is now going to go away, and then he'll be around for 20 years, and now we get to see who's the next made man in Kansas City. What does Tyreek Hill do with Tua? Listen, I actually like Derek Carr quite a bit. I'm kind of a Derek Carr stan. I love the way that his teammates love him. I love some of the fourth quarter comeback stuff, but he has some deep flaws also as a quarterback. But is it possible that Adams is looking at the current version of Rodgers that has shrunk in the playoffs a lot the last 2 or 3 years? The age, he's not the same guy in some of those big situations. So it's very interesting. Just saw this from the New York Post as well. Aaron Rodgers has recently been linked to a new gal pal named Blue after 2 months after his broken engagement to Shailene Woodley. The reports identified Rodgers' rumored lady love as a witch by the name of Blue of Earth. But she shot down those allegations in a series of Instagram stories posting, P.S. My name is Blue, not Blue of Earth, and I do not identify as a witch. Y'all are hilarious.
I don't mess
Quite-
with witches, so it's not my thing.
He's become a freak. Like, he has become a freak.
Her
He's a
Instagram
great
is
quarterback.
Blue of Earth. Let's see here.
He's a great quarterback, but he has become a pain in the ass. And like, I've talked to some folks who have seen him evolve, and there is no question he has gone off the proverbial deep end.
Okay,
That's
so
so
I'm
weird.
just pulling up her Instagram account here.
Absolutely is.
She's up to 79,000 followers. She's the host of the Deja Blue podcast with 1 million downloads.
I never miss it.
I don't know what the Deja Blue podcast is, but I'm definitely going to subscribe and knock
I
out
like
some
the name.
episodes.
Okay,
so the podcast is described as a clean reservoir of consciousness from which souls thirsty for purity, relief, and love can drink.
dude, I'm telling you, he is become a
He's weird, dude.
clown show.
Yep.
I need Judd to listen to 3 episodes this weekend, a few Surly's
3?
in, and give us a review. How about 1?
3?
Can I listen to one?
Can you listen to 1 episode of the
Send me a
Deja
link.
Blue podcast? Okay.
Send me a link. I'll try and listen to it.
Does anyone else, do our listeners do you want to hear a Judd reviewing Aaron
And if
Rodgers'
they don't, I'm not going to listen to it.
Girlfriend's podcast?
But I mean,
He's a goofball.
he really is.
Amazing.
Right. That's a nice way to say clown or freak, but you're right.
Okay, question number 4 here, boys. So we're all dog parents on the show. We all have dogs. Declan and I are fairly new dog owners over the last several months.
Mm-hmm.
What is your dog's most hilarious quirk?
Oh God.
Jack,
There's
you
a
want to
few.
go first?
Yeah, there's a few, and both of them happened this morning. Even when minutes after I saw the prep email, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? He's gonna do this exact same things I already thought of." His thing when he wakes up is he loves to just kind of step on your face. He still, and that might just be the puppy thing of like, I have no self-awareness and like the time to wake up and want to play. Like when he wakes up, he just like parades around our faces, like literally just stomps on us, like, hey, time to get up, and loves to play. His other weird quirk is he thinks your life is in significant danger when you're in the shower. He is very, very concerned when either of us is in, like, he has to be there. And sometimes I'll be like literally washing my body and I'll look and his paws are just, what's going on in here? Or,
You okay?
Do you need help?
You
Did I come
okay?
in? And it's like, no, please don't jump in the shower with me. But he has before. He is deathly afraid if one of us is in the shower. Just nervous Nelly. He doesn't understand it. Doesn't
Hilarious.
understand.
Really? Doesn't he get car sick too, you said?
Oh my God, yes. Quick side story. So we gave him Benadryl. You can give a dog Benadryl. You can. I confirmed it with vets. I confirmed it with other people. You can give a dog
Dex is
Benadryl.
like, I confirmed it on Twitter. It's fine.
Okay. The issue was I messed up old Dex tweets and his great math, mixed up milliliters to milligrams.
Oh my God.
And when I gave Vinny 15 milliliters of Benadryl to take the car ride home, which he slept beautifully, he then slept, for I'm not exaggerating, was lethargic for about 19 hours.
Oh.
I gave this dog like 10 times the amount of allotted Benadryl. And
Jeez, dude.
it was not... There, at
What
one
if he
point,
would
I
have
was...
OD'd and
Yeah,
died?
There
or
was at
something?
one
Kill
point in the
Vinny.
night I was woken up by my beloved saying, I don't think our dog is. I was like, what are you talking about? He's fine. And I touched him, and of course, I woke him up in the middle of his slumber. So
Hey,
in terms
Dex-
of dog quirks, those are one thing, and dog owning problems, I'm learning
Yeah.
on the job. I'm learning
Hey,
on the job here.
Hey, Dex, have her administer the drugs from now on, okay?
Yeah,
Like, that's what I do with Dawn. She administers, like, I don't handle, I handle simple things, washing dishes, feeding the dog, making sure the dog has water, taking the dog outside. When it comes to anything that involves math or actually adult things, I let Dawn do it.
Yeah.
We need Don's thoughts on that
Yeah.
as well. See if-
Oh, you don't want to put her on this podcast.
happy with-
It would not end well for Judd.
okay, what's Stella's biggest quirk?
So she's got she's had a bunch of them through, because dogs are smart, especially small dogs, I think. But anyway, her new thing now is she has come to the conclusion that she can get fed or go outside whenever she wants by waking me up, but not in a puppy way like Dex said. A couple of days ago, I'm sleeping, and she takes her paw on my hand and just goes like this and is scratching my hand because she wants to go downstairs and eat. Now this is like at 6 a.m, okay, where I'd like to be sleeping. And so, like, she now comes and wakes me up. She usually wakes me up at like 5 to go outside, and at 6 or 6:30 to eat. And she knows, because I'm old and I don't sleep as well as I once did, and I'm a complete sucker, that she can push me around, and she does, and it is very, very funny.
So let me ask a dumb question here, because like we always had dogs when I was a kid, but I've owned cats for years. We used to have horses too on the hobby farm I grew up on. But there's some things I'm finding now that we've had Maya for 3 months that I just like don't know the answer to. So we get up pretty early. We get up at like 5 o'clock. We're pretty early risers, but we go to bed at like 9, 10 o'clock.
Wow.
I usually take her out. I take her out at the end of the night, and then my wife takes her out in the morning. And I usually take her out around like 8:30 or 9 o'clock, and then she gets up with us around 5 o'clock. How many hours can you go overnight between like the last potty and the first potty?
Probably
like, what's a
depends
reasonable amount of time?
My guess is that depends on the dog, but I think if you're doing that, and you're on Pacific time, you're doing that, yeah, I think you're fine. Like 5's really early. Like
Yeah.
5's really early, because I'm saying that Stella wakes me up ordinarily around 5:30 Central Time. And her last potty, and she's a little dog, but she goes potty a lot. I mean, this dog, some dogs don't, some dogs, I mean, this dog loves to poop, I'll tell you that. So she'll go out, but it's weird because for a long time, she might not tell us and then have accidents, which is worse. So I actually prefer this. It's just funny because she like wakes me up like she's in charge.
So what's that? So, but like how many hours throughout the night are you guys comfortable with?
9, 8 to 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're in pretty good shape there, though. I mean, you're getting up. You're up excessively early.
So the biggest quirk that Maya has, we found out 2 weeks ago. I told you guys this. Have not brought this to the show. She ate a live bird.
That's incredible.
2 weeks ago. Yes. So okay, she's an 18-pound Chihuahua Terrier mix. So she's not very big, but she's very muscular and has the sort of the terrier hunting characteristics.
Yep.
And there was I don't know, some little family of, it was like it was a young sparrow or something, and so my wife was taking her out for a potty / walk middle of the day, and she's very quick, like she'll just kind of jump into the bushes and stuff, and so she saw a bird fall out of its nest, like a young bird learning to fly for the first time.
So she went and
helped it? Yeah, she went and helped it, all right. She went, pounced, didn't even swallow, just literally like grabbed the bird in her mouth. My wife, horrified, she doesn't know drop it yet. She knows sit and smell. Horrified. My wife tries to open her mouth, and the bird's 2 little legs were kicking on its way down.
Oh, yuck. Oh.
That's kind of incredible.
And dude, an Amazon delivery driver was watching this whole thing play out.
Yeah, just
and goes,
like
I think that bird was still alive. My wife's like, thanks for the observation, buddy.
Thank you.
So we call the vet and say, what do we do? This just happened. She didn't chew it or anything. She just kind of swallowed it. And I don't know, she seems fine right now. And they said, well, she might get lethargic. You might notice some digestive issues over the next 48 to 72 hours. Dude, literally no issues. It's been 2 weeks. She was a little lethargic for a few hours, like the next day. But she just digested it like a champ. Apparently, if you were to eat a dead raw, like a bird that's been out there for a couple days, you could run the risk of getting some bacterial infections and things.
Right.
But this bird
that was like,
gross.
it's a circle of life, and it was a live
Yeah,
bird.
but I feel bad for your wife. I wouldn't want to see that personally.
Oh man,
like I'm not.
She's just like the sweetest dog too. And
I can't do real death. I'm not good with real death. Movie death, I love.
Like live death. Like
Yeah,
how many
I
times?
know.
How many times have you seen someone die in front of you?
No, but I'm
Now I'm
saying
curious.
like no. But I'm saying like squirrels in front of your car. Like I slam on my. I don't
Are
want
you
to hit.
slamming your brakes for a squirrel?
Well,
no, you continue
not-
on the road.
No. I'm saying on my side streets. So there's no car behind me. I'm not going to slam on my brakes if there's a car right by me. But I'm saying, like, if I'm driving down the road, my side road, and like a bunny or squirrel, like I immediately stop. I can't do death. I don't enjoy it.
If there's geese on the fairway, I'm aiming on the geese. I
What?
don't.
Oh, see, I
can't
geese
do
and
that.
squirrels.
I can't
That's
do that.
sociopathic. That
I
is
can't
so
do that,
That's
dude.
fine. I don't care. I don't want them. If they're in the way, I'm not waiting for them to clear. Like, get out of the way.
Like
You
a
got a ball
family
coming
of
at you.
the like what's the like a
Geese are so mean and gross,
School?
dude.
Is it
yeah
a school of geese?
a school. I can't.
They
I can't
hiss.
do
They
that.
spit at you.
No. I can't do death.
I'm fine
Can't
with
do
that.
it.
No problem.
Ugh. So anyhow,
I can
He
bury
doesn't come
teams,
after
but
me.
I can't bury creatures. Can't do it.
amazing. Well, thanks to our friends at Federated for providing us with that glorious discussion there on 4-Question Friday. Federated's been around for over 100 years. They're based in Owatonna, Minnesota, and they're all about risk management tools and resources. You can find a full list of all the industries Federated protect to see if your business matches up with it at federatedinsurance.com, where it's our business to protect yours. All right, thanks for hanging out with us on this 4-Question Friday. Good luck to all those dog owners out there.